Count your age by friends, not years. Count your life by smiles, not tears. This famous quote by John Lennon reminds us that even rock's brightest icons cannot escape the passage of time. For some people, aging hasn't been the kindest experience. From wild lifestyles and health struggles to failed cosmetic procedures, time has reshaped them in shocking ways. Today, we're looking at 25 rock stars who've aged terribly. At number 25, we have Iggy Pop, the shirtless pioneer who created the blueprint for punk rock. In his youth, he was known for his lean, muscular body, which he almost always showed off shirtless on stage. Decades of living a hard and wild rock and roll lifestyle have definitely left their mark on Iggy Pop. Iggy Pop's once famous shirtless physique has become extremely thin and weathered. His skin appears leathery and deeply wrinkled after decades of sun exposure. His face is heavily lined and gaunt from years of living. However, he continues performing shirtless, which emphasizes how much his body has changed. His once powerful build has become almost skeletal in recent appearances, unfortunately. At number 24, we have Phil Collins, the former Genesis drummer and lead singer who also had a huge solo career. In the 80s, Phil wasn't your typical flashy rock star. He was a balding, pleasant-looking man who often wore a suit, but he was full of energy, famously drumming and singing his heart out in concerts. Unfortunately, in recent years, Phil Collins has aged in a way that many find heartbreaking. Now 74, he has been hit hard by health problems. It all began in 2007, when nerve damage from a spinal injury affected his vertebrae and left him with lasting issues, even confining him to a wheelchair at times. After multiple back surgeries, Phil now often needs a cane or an electric wheelchair to get around. He performs sitting down and can no longer play the drums because he has lost strength in his hands. His physical decline is a direct and tragic result of these painful and debilitating medical issues. It is a difficult sight for fans who remember the energetic performer he once was, commanding the stage every night. At number 23, we have Robert Plant, the golden god vocalist of the mighty Led Zeppelin. He was the picture of a 70s rock god with his long golden curls and famous bare-chested stage presence. Robert had the ultimate rock star appearance that defined hard rock forever. Plant has aged naturally, but the change is still dramatic. Robert Plant's famous golden hair has turned silver and appears much thinner. His face shows significant aging with wrinkles and weathering from decades. His once powerful physique has become more ordinary with advancing age, unfortunately. His hair still retains some length, but has lost its former volume. The golden god of rock has become a silver-haired elder statesman of music. His voice has also changed, losing some of its once legendary power. Coming in at number 22, we have Vince Neil, the lead singer of Motley Crue. Back in the 80s, Vince was the poster boy of glam metal excess, a fit, good-looking frontman with flowing blonde hair and a screeching voice. Fast forward to today, and the years have not been kind to Vince. Now 62, Vince Neil has gained considerable weight over the decades, becoming almost unrecognizable. His face has become bloated and puffy compared with his youthful days. His voice has deteriorated significantly, leading to criticism of his live performances everywhere. He has struggled with alcohol and weight issues throughout his career. In 2021, things hit a low point when he actually walked off stage mid-concert, unable to continue singing a moment that shocked fans. Recent efforts at losing weight have shown some progress, but there's still a long way to go. His transformation represents one of the most dramatic changes in rock history. The prettiest face in metal became one of the most shocking transformations of all. Number 21 on our list is Steven Tyler, the lead singer of the legendary rock band Aerosmith. In the 70s and 80s, Steven was a rock and roll peacock. He had long dark hair with streaks of color, a lean body, huge lips. Steven had an energetic stage presence that perfectly defined American rock for decades. Years of a hard rock and roll lifestyle, including heavy drug use, have dramatically changed Steven Tyler's face. Steven Tyler has admitted to having cosmetic procedures, including Botox and fillers. His face appears unnaturally smooth for his age, suggesting significant cosmetic work. His lips appear altered, and his overall facial structure looks completely different. His hair remains long, but may use extensions to maintain volume. Recent vocal injuries forced Aerosmith to retire from touring, showing his physical limitations. His appearance looks artificial from too much cosmetic enhancement over the years. Some fans have joked that he now looks like someone's lesbian grandma. The dream of staying young became a nightmare of unnatural enhancement. Coming in at number 20, we have Tommy Lee from the legendary band Motley Crue. He was a wild drummer with long dark hair and a fit physique. Back in the day, Tommy showed off bold, colorful tattoos that decorated his strong arms. Tommy Lee continues performing but shows clear signs of aging, with time taking its toll. His face has gained weight and become puffier than before. He recently added face tattoos around his eyebrows and temple area. These new tattoos seem to distract from his aging face and wrinkles. His hair remains long but appears much thinner than his glory days. The face tattoos make him look more weathered than he did in his drumming prime. Face tattoos cannot hide the march of time for this wild drumming legend. Next at number 19, we find Blackie, Lawless, the towering frontman of the shock rock band Wasp. In the mid-80s, Blackie was a tall, lean shock rocker with flowing black hair. Blackie thrilled audiences back then with striking makeup and an electrifying stage presence. He has struggled with major health issues that severely affected his overall appearance. He suffered serious back injuries that required extensive surgery to repair properly. These health problems forced him to perform sitting in a chair during recent tours. His voice was damaged when he ruptured his vocal cords from years of screaming. The years of hard living and health scares have left him looking older. Today, in his mid-60s, Blackie has put on quite a bit of weight over the years and can't pull off the crazy on-stage stunts he once did. At number 18, we encounter Dee Snider, the fierce warrior of Twisted Sister fame. He was the blonde-haired frontman with dramatic makeup and muscular build. Dee had an intense energy that captivated every member of the audience. Dee Snider, at 70, has been forced to change his performing style completely. He can no longer do his famous headbanging because his neck cannot handle it. His face shows significant wrinkles and age spots from decades of performing. His hair is thinner and grayer than his Twisted Metal days. He admits his physical limitations forced Twisted Sister to retire from touring. A recent health scare made him reconsider many important life choices. Even the strongest warriors have to set aside their armor eventually. Coming in at number 17, we have Mick Jagger. He is the legendary frontman of the Rolling Stones, one of rock's most iconic and energetic performers. In his youth, he was known for his androgynous beauty, rebellious attitude, and famously slender and agile body. Mick Jagger's aging process is very unique. Amazingly, he has kept the same incredibly thin body and energetic stage moves that he had 60 years ago. However, his face has not been so lucky. It is now covered in deep wrinkles and lines. This strange contrast between his still youthful body and his heavily aged face creates a jarring effect that many people find shocking to look at. He is a walking paradox, with the body of a young man and the face of a very old one. At number 16, we have Marilyn Manson. He was the most controversial shock rocker of the 1990s, known for his scary and theatrical performances. His signature look was ghoulish white makeup, mismatched contact lenses, and a disturbingly thin and menacing body frame. As Marilyn Manson has gotten older, his appearance has changed dramatically, especially when he is not wearing his heavy stage makeup. He has gained a significant amount of weight, and his face now looks bloated and tired. The terrifying and shocking image he built in the 90s has given way to a much more ordinary and less intimidating middle-aged look, which is a shock in itself. However, recent photos from 2024 show dramatic weight loss indicating recovery. His appearance has changed drastically, shifting between bloated and very thin, which has caused concern among fans. This suggests ongoing health struggles that continue affecting his appearance. The shock rocker's appearance became more disturbing than any stage performance. At number 15 is Courtney Love, the lead singer of the 90s band Hole, and a notorious figure in rock history. In the early 90s, Courtney was the grunge queen with bleach blonde messy hair, smeared red lipstick, ripped dresses, and an in-your-face attitude. Courtney Love has lived a very hard and chaotic life, and it shows. Now at 59, Courtney's appearance has changed drastically. Years of drug use, public fights, and personal turmoil have clearly taken a toll on her appearance. While she is now sober and living a healthier lifestyle, her face is weathered and carries the marks of her wild past. Interestingly, Courtney herself has commented on aging. After turning 51, she said she wants to be in that club of older women who age gracefully and accept it, noting that fighting it with too much surgery can backfire and make people unrecognizable. At number 14, we have David Lee Roth, the acrobatic showman of Van Halen. He was an acrobatic frontman with flowing blonde hair and lean athletic build. David possessed legendary stage charisma that made him a rock and roll icon. While David Lee Roth still brings a lot of energy to his shows, his appearance has changed dramatically. David Lee Roth has been targeted by the media for his aging appearance lately. At 70, he looks dramatically different from his energetic Van Halen performing days. His hair appears thinner, and he may use wigs or hair systems. His face shows deep wrinkles and sun damage from years of California living. Recent paparazzi photos show him looking much older and frailer. Coming in at number 13 is Bret Michaels, best known as the lead singer of the glam metal band Poison. Back in the late 80s, Brett was a hard-partying rock heartthrob with long blonde hair, a fit build, and his ever-present bandana on stage. Brett had the classic 80s metal look that perfectly defined the era. Years of touring and a serious health scare have aged him as well. His face looks more aged and swollen compared to his younger days on stage. These days, Brett carries a bit more weight and moves a bit slower on stage than he used to. Now in his 60s, he continues to hide his balding head under that bandana. In fact, the 63-year-old rocker has admitted to being bald and wearing hairpieces beneath his signature bandana to hide his hair loss. At number 12, there's Johnny Rotten, the snarling voice of the rebellious Sex Pistols. In 1977, Johnny Rotten was the face of punk rebellion, a skinny, fiery-eyed young man with spiky hair and famously bad teeth, singing anti-establishment anthems. Johnny had famously rotten green teeth that actually gave him his stage name. Johnny Rotten got his name from his terrible teeth, which were literally rotting. He finally had extensive dental work done, spending around $20,000 to fix. His new teeth look much better but are completely artificial replacements. His face shows significant aging and wrinkles from decades of hard living. His hair is thinner and grayer than his punk rock rebellion days. The dental work improved his health, but he looks much older. Even fixing his rotten teeth could not restore his youthful punk rebellion. At number 11, we have Alice Cooper, the pioneering godfather of theatrical shock rock. He was a shock rock pioneer with dark hair and theatrical makeup. Alice had the slim build that perfectly created horror rock for future generations. Alice Cooper has actually aged relatively well compared to many rock peers. He maintains his fitness through golf and generally clean living habits. However, his face shows more wrinkles, and his hair appears much thinner. He still performs energetically, but moves more carefully on stage during shows. His makeup helps hide facial aging during his theatrical performances perfectly. Without makeup, he surprisingly looks like a regular older man. The godfather of shock rock ages more gracefully than many who followed him. At number 10, we see James Hetfield, the powerful rhythm guitarist of the metal band Metallica. In the early 1980s, James was a lean young rocker with long, wild hair and a fierce energy on stage. James had a commanding stage presence that defined heavy metal for generations worldwide. James Hetfield has gone through periods of weight gain and loss. His battles with alcoholism caused facial bloating and puffiness over years. His hair has turned white and is much shorter now. His face shows significant aging and weathering from years of hard living. Recent rehab stints show he continues struggling with addiction issues, unfortunately. His appearance varies dramatically depending on his current sobriety status. The master of puppets found himself controlled by his own demons. At number 9, there's Rod Stewart. He is the famous British rock singer with a raspy voice and one of rock's most iconic haircuts. Rod had a cocky swagger that perfectly defined British rock for generations worldwide. In his prime, Rod was a dashing ladies' man with spiky blonde hair and a cheeky grin, known for hit songs since the 1970s. However, time and health challenges have left their mark on him. Rod Stewart at 80 still maintains his famous spiky hairstyle through products. His face shows significant aging with wrinkles and sun damage over decades. His voice underwent surgery that could have ended his career completely. He admits to using sugar water to style his hair originally. His appearance shows the full effects of 8 decades of life. At number 8, we have Lemmy Kilmister, the bass-playing frontman of the legendary band Motorhead. He was a bass-playing frontman with famous mutton chops and leather jacket. Lemmy had the look that perfectly defined heavy metal rebellion for fans. Lemmy died in 2015 at age 70, but his final years showed decline. His face became extremely weathered and aged from decades of hard living. His famous mutton chops turned gray and his face was deeply lined. Health problems, including diabetes and heart issues, took a visible toll. His appearance in his final years showed the cost of excess. The Motorhead lifestyle finally caught up with the man who lived hardest. At number 7, there's Neil Young, the folk rock legend with his distinctive high voice. He was a folk rocker with long straight hair and thin build. Neil had the clean appearance of 1970s singer-songwriters that defined the era. Neil Young has maintained a consistent appearance over decades, but shows aging. His hair has become grayer and thinner over the passing years. His face is more weathered and lined from decades of performing. He has kept his basic style unchanged, which makes aging more apparent. His voice has also changed with age, becoming more gravelly sounding. He appears frailer than in his younger days. While he still performs, his hunched posture and aged hands make it clear that decades of rock, protest, and touring have left deep marks. At number 6, we have Gene Simmons, the demon bassist of the legendary band Kiss. He was a tall bassist with long black hair and dramatic makeup. Gene was famous for his extended tongue that became his trademark feature. Gene Simmons has had multiple plastic surgeries, including facelifts documented on television. His face appears unnatural and overly tight from extensive cosmetic procedures performed. He wears obvious wigs or hair systems that look completely artificial. His tongue extension surgery makes his appearance even more distinctive. Recent photos show him looking almost unrecognizable without his iconic makeup. Too much plastic surgery created a more frightening look than any stage makeup. At number 5 is Elvis Presley. He was the undisputed king of rock and roll, a cultural icon with legendary looks and talent. In the 1950s, he was incredibly handsome, with a rebellious swagger and energy that changed the world forever. Elvis's final years are a famous and tragic story. He struggled badly with weight gain and a serious addiction to prescription. During his Las Vegas shows, his bloated appearance and flashy jumpsuits were a stark contrast to the lean, rebellious figure of his younger days. This sad transformation remains one of the most well-known cautionary tales in music history. The King's final years serve as a heartbreaking reminder of how fame and pressure can destroy even the brightest stars. At number 4, we see Grace Slick, the beautiful voice of the Jefferson Airplane. In her younger days, Grace was a psychedelic rock legend, stunning with her long dark hair and a commanding voice that delivered White Rabbit with raw power. Her rebellious, bohemian style perfectly captured the spirit of the Woodstock era. Grace had the look that perfectly defined 1960s counterculture for generations everywhere. Grace Slick retired from music performance in 1989 and has aged naturally. She became a visual artist after retiring from music completely. Now in her mid-80s, Grace Slick has been out of the spotlight for decades, allowing herself to age on her own terms. These days, she's a white-haired elderly woman enjoying a quiet life of painting and family. Her face shows significant aging with wrinkles and gray hair over decades. She has aged gracefully and speaks honestly about getting older. At number 3, we have Ozzy Osbourne, the legendary Prince of Darkness from Black Sabbath. He is the legendary voice of Black Sabbath and a wildly successful and chaotic solo artist. In his early days, he had a distinct look with long dark hair and an intense, wild-eyed stare on stage. Ozzy had the look that would perfectly define heavy metal for future generations. Ozzy's decades-long battle with is legendary, but his recent appearance is due to much more. He was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease and suffered nerve damage from major surgery, leaving him in constant pain. He now uses a wheelchair or walker and struggles with mobility daily. His face shows the effects of his neurological condition, including tremors. Multiple surgeries and health scares have left him looking frail. His once wild energy has been replaced by visible physical struggles. The Prince of Darkness fought his toughest battle against time and illness, but sadly passed away this year. His story is a sad and powerful reminder of the heavy price of a life lived in the fast lane. It's no surprise that at number 2, we find Keith Richards. Keith Richards is the legendary guitarist and soul of the Rolling Stones, the ultimate rock and roll survivor. In the mid-1960s, before the hard living began, he was a handsome and cool-looking rock and roll heartthrob. He was a young guitarist with smooth skin and dark hair. Keith had a clean, sharp look before decades of excessive abuse took their toll. Today, Keith Richards appears almost unrecognizable from his youth due to the extreme effects of substance abuse. His face is deeply wrinkled and weathered like old leather. Years of have left permanent damage to his appearance, and his skin looks as though it has aged far beyond his years. He appears much older than his actual age would suggest. His survival is considered miraculous, given his legendary consumption over the decades. He is the very definition of aging poorly, yet he carries it with pride, a living testament to endurance and survival. And at number 1, the most shocking transformation of all belongs to Axl Rose. He is the fiery and iconic lead singer of the legendary hard rock band Guns N' Roses. In the 80s, he was a rock god with a lean body, sharp abs, and delicate, almost boyish good looks. Axl Rose's change is perhaps the most shocking in rock history. The once slender singer became what many have called a big-bellied, jowly, aging rock star. There has been widespread talk that he has undergone cosmetic procedures such as facelifts, Botox, and cheek implants, which have given his face a puffy and unnatural look. The stunning contrast between the wild rock god of the 80s and his modern appearance is truly unbelievable. His face has become bloated and almost unrecognizable compared with his classic appearance. Recent photos show some weight loss, but his face remains dramatically changed. The transformation shocked fans worldwide when photos surfaced online everywhere. He is the #1 example of how time, lifestyle, and maybe some bad choices can completely erase a legend's look. And there you have it, a lineup of rock and roll legends whose wild lifestyles left their mark in unforgettable ways. From Axl Rose to Vince Neil, these stars remind us that even icons aren't immune to time. Rock and fame may last forever, but youth sure doesn't. If you enjoyed this countdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more rock history and shocking transformations.